I think you guys have said to skip Doom 3. Because a lot of
Really?
people say watch Doom 1 and 2. Those are really charming movies.
And then just don't even bother?
Skip Doom 3. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So what did you think of the movie?
Well,
'Cause
I have something to say to
obviously
that. Pizza time.
Pizza time.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Pizza Time Podcast. Today, we are rounding off our Doom franchise review with Doom 3.
Okay.
Here it is, again and again. Is that what it is?
Doom
again and again? Is that the subtitle?
Doom again. Doom. Here we go again.
Here we go again. They're just stealing subtitles from popular, what do you call those movies? Like those cheerleading movies.
Oh, bring it on. Bring it on again.
Doom, bring it on.
One more time. Bring it on. Let's do it. Let's do this again.
Not appropriate. There's a lot of music, but I'm Ed. That is Alex, and we are back for this. Like and subscribe. Keep hitting that bell for when we have our stuff come up. We're at 1K subscribers. Let's keep moving on to 2, to 3, to 5. Hopefully one day to 10, to the sky's the limit. So, thank you guys again. But Alex, how you doing, man? How was the Doom watch marathon that you had this? So let's start with that before we get into Doom 3. How was the marathon for you?
It was good. We made the decision last week because we have to, we're trying to record as many as we can before I head off to Italy for the wedding, before Ed joins me over there. Yeah, before we're gone for a month, basically. So we're not recording for a month. It'll be weird. But yeah, it was good because we made the decision really, really early in the week, like Sunday, and said, you know what, let's just get all 3 Dooms. That way we have at least 3 episodes. So I did Doom, the first Doom. I did that like during lunch break. And then I started Doom 2 during another lunch break, and then I finished it at home because I was like, you know what, I'm not giving this enough attention. It deserves more attention.
Yeah.
And then I watched Doom 3 last night. Well, I made it through about an hour and a half of it, and I was like falling asleep, so I finished it this morning. So yeah. How about you? Did you do something stupid and watch all 3 of them back to back?
No, I actually did it the smart way, surprisingly. Typically, I would have waited for all 3. Not waited, yeah. I'm busy, but like I would have like had to deal with all the movies yesterday night. Typically.
Like Gangs. We did that with Gangs. We both watched Gangs in like a day, and that probably affected us.
Not only that, for Gangs, I had to watch that like late at night, and that's a 3.5 hour. That was the worst. That was the worst. Anyway, no, I spread this one out across 3 days. I started on Wednesday.
Look at
watched
you.
one on Wednesday. I know. Did it on Tuesday. Because to be honest with you, it's like, when you hear about the Doom franchise, everyone's like, well, it's not like the most quality thing. Yeah, everyone keeps saying.
You guys is credit. None of you guys have ever said this franchise is amazing, but everybody uses the same word, charming. The franchise is charming,
right?
So,
and it is. It's easily the best thing I can say about pretty much the entire franchise in general, but mostly for the first one. And I've had, and it's been. I'll say this: my trajectory with the movies, I said it's in the last one, has only been up. If that's going to foreshadow sort of my feelings about the movie.
Well, let's get into it.
It's all been worth it. It's all been worth it. Okay, but yeah, let's get into it. Doom 3. So a little background on the movie, if you don't know. Doom 3 came out in 2013. It is the most recent in the franchise, although now it's been 10 freaking years since this movie, which is hard to believe. But it came back from a hiatus about 6 or 7 years between Doom 2 and Doom 3. And it's directed by not the same director as Doom 1 and Doom 2. There's a new person coming in for this one. His name is Vijay Krishna Acharya. I think I got at least 2 of those words right. And he steps. Oh, go ahead.
He wrote Doom 1 and 2.
Oh, he's the writer. I didn't even. Whoa. Okay. Whoa. That actually. Yeah. Wow. That's gonna play into my review later too. I didn't know that. Holy shit.
Yeah,
okay. Interesting point, my friend. Thank you for bringing that up. So he was the writer. He's now stepping into the director's seat for this one. The synopsis of the movie is that we again follow our two buddy cop, I guess one of India's favorite buddy cop duos, which is Jay and Ali. This time, they take it from a globetrotting adventure to a single place, which I thought was interesting, all happening in America, in Chicago, and it actually takes place in Chicago. That's kind of crazy to think about, actually.
Actually, Chicago, yeah.
And it's because the budget just skyrocketed for this movie. The movie was made on pennies. This one was made for 100 core. So it's easily the most expensive out of any of the Doom movies before that. But yeah, it takes place in Chicago, and it follows, villain-wise, it follows a new, I don't want to say villain. That's harsh in this movie because they're all kind of just thieves. The antagonist is no one but Amir freaking Khan in this one, and just one of the biggest freaking stars in India, right? Obviously, your favorite actor probably in all of Indian cinema. Is that you were kind of saying? I don't know.
I thought it was your favorite.
No, I will. He's definitely up there. I said I liked Irfan Khan better as an actor, but I mean, Amir is definitely one of my favorites for sure.
Yeah,
I mean, the guy,
Amir's
just he's like the Tom Cruise of India as far as I'm concerned. I'm sure there's more, but like he's in it. You know what I'm saying? Like he's in it.
At this moment in time, we're saying yes, he's probably my favorite. But like I've been told, buckle up, Ranveer Singh. He's
coming. He's coming.
Better. Ranveer, you haven't given him a fair shot just yet.
Yeah.
And we've only seen 2 or 3 SRK movies. Like, maybe the tides change a little bit.
And at the same time, I feel like all these people know each other. They're all in on it, and they only love each other. They respect each other to a point where they all know that what's going on.
Yeah.
They are the hot things, and like they can share the limelight. I think that's what it seems like to me. I don't know if there's any like drama, but it seems like they all kind of get it, and they're just kind of grateful to be in cinema. But anyways,
I can tell you who's not my favorite actor.
Oh, who?
Tiger Shroff.
Tiger Shroff. Who's that?
It's Kabir in.
Oh.
In War. I think
in War.
Is he here?
Well, he's I hear you. You know me. You know what I thought of that. If you haven't seen that review, go watch it. But okay, to lead this off, Doom 3 again. So it follows Amir Khan. He plays this circus mass leader of the Great Indian Circus that he has inherited from his grandfather, who tragically committed suicide because the banks of Chicago decided not to back their show. And as he grew older, guess what? He's going to stick it up your ass. He's coming for you, Chicago Bank or whatever it's called. And that's the whole thing. He's trying to get revenge on the bank. And of course, in style, Jay and Ali need to stop him. But it's far from that in this movie. And so that's the wrap up for this. Let's get into our review for Doom 3. And since I went last time, you gave me the honors of going last time, I will follow with you, and you go first, my friend. What did you think of Doom 3?
It's not Doom 2, I'll say that. I liked Doom 2 so much more than this one. I just thought it was funner. I don't know. There's Doom 1 and 2, and then there's Doom 3.
Yeah.
That is like, it feels like it's a different genre of
I feel
film.
you.
And we completely, like, they did it a little bit in Doom 2, but Doom 3, you basically kick Jay and Ali to the side. No. See ya. We don't need you guys. We've got Amir Khan, and he's gonna be the anchor of the story. We're gonna have the wonderful Katrina Kaif come in, and she's gonna help out. And then we're just gonna sprinkle just a little Ali humor, him still trying to find a wife, and a little of Jay's very uneven, hard cop, good cop, lovey guy attitude in as well. And it's going to work. And it does. I think the movie was good. Again, I liked Doom 2 much better. I just think there was more fun in that movie.
Okay.
For me. I think that's what did it. I think that movie was more fun for me. But this is a good movie. This has the most fleshed out story by far. And overall, the story really works. There's nice good reveal in about the middle of the movie. And the thief, for the first time ever, has a motive. why he wants to do something.
Right.
Like,
there's a bigger motive as to why he's stealing. Right.
Yeah. There's not a bigger motive. There is a motive.
It's the motive.
In
yes.
Doom 1 and 2, they're just thieves to be thieves.
Exactly. Amir, who plays Sahir here, wouldn't be a thief if it wasn't for this. Like,
right.
He is first and foremost a circus performer. Correct.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. But overall, I did like the movie. I thought it was very enjoyable. I thought the stunts mostly worked really well. And like, again, I think they took, like, as you said at the very beginning in the intro, you just took the budget and you just like, just let them and just said, go have fun with the budget. It's going to be a cool little way to, have some fun. There's some really cool scenes and chase scenes. Again, I think this film series does a really good job with chase scenes. Some really fun chase scenes. And kind of a sad ending. I was like, oh, that's kind of sad but sweet.
It's pretty. It's not depressing.
Yeah, it's not depressing, right? Yeah,
it's not depressing.
But overall, it's a good movie. I'm curious before I throw it back to you. Let us know in the comments, because I think you guys have said to skip Doom 3. Because a lot of people say watch Doom 1 and 2. Those are really charming movies.
And then just don't even bother?
Skip Doom 3. Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So what did you think of the movie?
Well, I have something to say to that. Okay. Because...
Oh, boy.
Well, I'll say this first. Your feelings of the franchise is in fact, I think, the consensus overall. Most people do like Doom 2 the best. They would consider that probably the best. It kind of teeter-totters depending on who you talk to, like if whether or not Doom 3 is better than Doom 1. But I would actually say that most people don't like Doom 3. In fact, if you look at the Rotten Tomatoes scores, Doom 3 is the lowest rated at 70%, while the first two are like, I think the first one's like 80 something and the first one's at 90. But I think people seem to not consider Doom 3 the worst one. And I find that insanely surprising because I love this movie. If this is Patan in terms of action films in my ranking, Doom 3 would be right behind that. And sometimes I was finding myself wondering, I think there's some parts of this movie that does better than Patan even. And I think, look, whatever, it's fine. I'm going to be probably a soloed out here person out here like Dark Phoenix. Doom 3 is easily one of the best action films I've seen thus far in Indian cinema. 100%. It's not even, I think you might have a problem if you don't even think it's one of the best that we've seen so far. I mean, what? Are you shitting me? Like, the amount of shit that this movie does is incredible. It's awesome. Not only, and by far, the story's easily the best out of the whole franchise. And it's the most interesting, and it actually has some fantastic, it actually has writing. Like, writing. People say shit that means stuff. That is much more than just your typical action film. You have this wonderful story of these, spoiler alert, twins and their grandfather. That's a fantastic dynamic. And there's wonderful poetry. Like, said by like Katrina Kaif. She goes like, I'm the rain falling only for you. These are just fantastic. Like, you don't expect this from a Doom movie, especially after Doom 1 and Doom 2. The amount of effort they put into the action sequences are the best in the franchise. 100%. It's not even close. It's not even close. The character work is not even close. The music, the sets. Like, look, I get it. It has the most money, but hey, it takes money, and then it takes also a fantastic director. And I think if he's the writer of the first two, and he's now directing, he should have been director for all of them, because he understood how to take what made those movies and work and what people loved, and then actually make something to give a shit about. You know, I'm telling you right now, I have no cons. I have zero cons for this movie. I have all the love and praise for it. I think it's a fantastic action film that kind of pseudo turned into this drama about twins all of a sudden, and I loved it. And I would say, and one of the things I think we may forget, one of the things I think we might disagree on is the fact that you said Jay and Ali were sort of more sidelined in this movie, which I don't disagree with, but I think in terms of balance, much needed. But not even that though. They actually give Jay, I would say, arguably more time on screen this time. There's a whole side section where he befriends Samar. There's a whole sequence where he's being, I think, the hero that we were hoping that he was going to be for the first two films. I think this film did everything correct. I have no issues with this film. I love it. So maybe the third act, I think, didn't really rise up to like the rest of the movie. But still, by the end of the film, I thought it made almost all the right moves. I love this movie, and I don't understand why this is considered the worst one. What I'm going to say first is that, well, I guess it just wasn't a Doom movie. It was the least Doom movie,
right,
to most people. But I would argue that's true, but it's also has the bones of a Doom movie and catapults everything that was I had a problem with, and makes it actually digestible and palatable to every extreme. So I love this movie.
I don't know if I can agree with it being on the level of Pathan in terms of action.
I didn't say that. But are you saying that?
No, didn't you just say that?
No. I said if this is where Pathan is.
Above Pathan.
No. I said if this is where Pathan is, it's right beneath it. That's what I said.
Oh. Yeah. My bad. Okay.
Yeah. And during the movie, I was wondering, it does some things better, in my opinion, than Pathan, but overall, I think Pathan's a top to bottom a better movie. But it's very close. Like, there's some things here I loved, like really loved, better than Pathan for sure. But anyways, keep going.
Okay. So other than that, I don't like completely disagree with you. I do. Again, I think I am the voice of the audience here.
Absolutely. Obviously.
I think that like I have trouble kind of putting this into a Doom movie sphere because the comedy's kind of gone. It's not funny as, you know.
Oh, I 100% disagree with that. I was laughing more. 100%. I was laughing at the jokes here. Where do you think it's funny? Ali. Like his jokes.
You actually, liked Ali here?
Yeah, because he's not always just being Ali. In fact, you like him better because you understand that he actually can do some shit in this movie. He actually is useful in this movie. And
what is it different than in the other movies?
He actually helps Jay. Like, you see him on the bike.
He's on the bike in all the movies.
Yeah, but he's not Jay is the forefront of those movies in terms of like, even again, Ali is there. Yeah. Solely to catapult Jay in those movies. In this movie, he gets his moments where at least he's the only one on screen. He's the one actively doing a lot of what needs to be done in that moment. And is he still just the horny guy? Yeah, but at least they give him like some of the respect back. You know, it gives him his time in this movie. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I think that's a fair 100% comeback. But yeah, okay, so I think the voice, being the voice of the audience, it just didn't feel as much as a Doom movie as the other first two did. But that's being said,
but you don't think it was a better movie?
Oh no, I didn't say that.
So do you think it's a better movie?
Overall, yeah, I think it's a better movie.
But it wasn't Doom.
I think it's much too long. I think it's very long. That's the first time I've said that, by the way, in many reviews. Yeah. I do think this movie is too long.
I mean, it is long.
I got tired. I was like, okay, come on. We got to go here. Like,
what parts of the movie were you getting slogged by?
I got slogged in the friendship part, actually, with
friendship part.
Jay and Samir. Samir?
Get the really?
I got tired of it. I was like, I get it. He's a friend.
What?
He's a friend. Let's go.
How did you not like those scenes?
Go. I got tired of there was like 4 different circus scenes doing the same shit. Like, okay.
Sorry, say it again. Sorry, one more time.
The circus scenes, I was like, there's like 4 circus scenes that they do the same act. I was like, okay, come on, I don't need another version of this. Oh man, like, what are the 2 names that Amir plays?
Sahir and Samar.
Sahir and Samar.
And Sahir's the asshole, and Samar's
Sahir and Samar, right? So like, I was like, okay, I get it. They switch places. Cool. But other than that, like, when I say shorter, 20 minutes shorter, 2.5 hours is much better for me and much more digestible. But yeah, overall, I'm not saying it's a bad movie. I think it's a great movie. I think it's much better than Doom.
Yeah.
There are so much stuff there that there is to like about the screenplay, about the editing, about the action stunts, as you've mentioned. The great, like, the Chicago River chase is fucking
it's fantastic. The CGI is incredible too.
Yeah, like, the CGI gets right, but not just the production value on the actual jet
when
ski
he skirts underneath the truck, that looked better than the
That was
thing
real.
that they did in what's that movie with that spin-off movie of Fast and Furious, the one that you like a lot.
Hobbs and Shaw.
It looked better than that.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
yeah. 100%.
fantastic. It's
They did a really-
fantastic.
They
The-
probably hooked him up to the rig and then just dragged him down with underneath
Oh,
it.
It
looked
looks so
really
good. Yeah, it looked.
Yeah,
oh my god, dude! It's like
All that
leaps-
stuff
and
was
it's-
really
This
cool.
movie's in a different universe, literally, than even the Doom 1 and Doom 2 movies. It's not even
Yeah.
close. It's not even close. Yeah.
So yeah, it's a fun movie. Again, if I'm
Yeah.
speaking from the audience's perspective, I think it's just because it didn't feel as much as a
No,
Doom
and so that's. And
film.
I assume that's what it was. So it's
And
just
I
that you
think
missed
that-
all the Doom feel of it.
Yeah. You missed
Yeah.
the Doom. I think
You missed the Doom feel.
Maybe not so much comedy. What's the word I'm looking? You missed the silliness of the Doom movie.
Yeah. Okay.
It's all like the silliness is kind of all just. Let's just take it all out.
You're
Suck it all
not.
out.
You're 100%
You know,
right. Yes.
Because it is a much more serious movie.
But see-
you're dealing with a villain who has a much more serious thing that he wants to try to do. He's not trying to take the money.
Right.
He's trying to bring down the institution that is the
Right.
bank. Like
And
that's
that's a fantastic
noble
story.
cause.
But
Yeah.
okay, so here's what's interesting is that like for me, story trumps everything. Like I don't care
Yeah.
if you're a shitty movie or if you're a good movie. I think story trumps everything. It's the purpose it's the reason we have the art form in the first place. So I don't disagree with the fact that that those movies it loses a little bit of the silliness and the fun, but I would
Yeah.
I would take any story over any of those things any time of day because that's what for me why I go to the movies. Like I absolutely thought that the story of Sahir and Samar was beautiful. I mean,
Yeah.
it drove the film. I wanted to know
Yeah.
more and more and more and more about their backstory and why they do what they do. And of course, Amir Khan is fantastic. He plays this. He plays this shit so well. And the
he really does.
the CGI with them at the screen at the same time, fantastic.
I have so many
most
notes
of the time
on that
I
part.
could not.
Yeah.
I couldn't figure out how they
Who was
did
the
it.
stand-in? Yeah.
I mean, obviously, we know exactly.
We know how they
essentially
did
how we did it, but it was so well
But-
done. The face replacement on most of those shots were great, better than even Indiana Jones 5. Get the out of here! Like, what are we doing? Indiana
Yeah,
Jones
that-
5 is less convincing than this
That
movie.
fake crap that just doesn't work.
It's from
Yeah.
this 10 years ago. 10 years ago, the face replacement's better. So for me, the story was just so fantastic that it just puts this movie in a different place. And I think that makes sense. I think it's a good thing then. If people want to see Doom 1 and Doom 2 as their own thing and Doom 3 on the side, I think it works
Yeah.
for both reasons. As like if
Yeah,
people
I would
want to
agree.
see it as a worse movie, I see this as a quote unquote better movie. I guess arguable. Like, look, I didn't love Doom and 1, Doom 2. Like, I don't love them. So this is why I love this movie. But if you love Doom 1 and Doom 2, this is not the movie you, I guess, were expecting, I guess, right?
Yeah, I think, and I think maybe that's what happened. It
Right.
just kind of, it didn't meet the expectations.
Right.
And when a film does that, like when you're expecting one thing and you get another, it's just human nature to be disappointed, I'd say, you know?
I disagree. Well, that might be true. I disagree. I'm the opposite. I'm always at the helm of like,
Right.
well, if you're not going to give me what I expected, do something better. If you don't,
Okay.
if you don't do something better, then I'm not. Then that sucks. Too bad for you. But if you, I
agree
like
with
being
you.
surprised. I like being like,
Right.
whoa, I wasn't expecting that. And if it's good, then I have to give it props. And it has to.
Right.
It must be better. It has to be. If it didn't meet your expectations, but then was better, how is that not better? It doesn't. It trumps everything that you even expected. So again, I'm talking about myself. I'm not talking about anybody else. This is just how I felt about it. Is that it like completely took me by surprise, and it was better in quality across the board. And so I just don't see how this is not a better film across the board than any of the other two. Besides the fact that it was less silly, but I didn't care for the silliness as much as like
right. That
everyone
was like
else.
so that was something that bothered you. Yeah, so I completely agree with you, dude. Like it's one of those things that like, it's one of those things that I do agree. Overall, like if we go into this film just from a complete execution wise, it is miles above Doom 1 and Doom 2, and it's not like.
It's not close. It's not even close.
It's like from here to the moon better.
Yeah, it's not even close.
That's how far ahead this movie was. So yeah, I agree with you. I do like. I can happily admit, if we're just talking about execution, screenplay, those decisions, yeah, it's a better film. Did I enjoy it as much as Doom 2? No. Did I enjoy it as much as Doom 1? Yes, I enjoyed it much more than Doom.
Yeah. But it's not a Doom movie.
Not even close.
But it's ultimately, it wasn't a Doom movie.
Yeah, and I think that's where the audience got a little friction. Right. Maybe audience, you let us know. But why don't we? I don't know if I have many cons. I have like one con actually. If we want to start there,
go for it. Yeah, please.
Yeah, I just felt like Katrina was wasted. Just this side character thrown in. You just had a name just to have a name. But it doesn't. But it doesn't promise her as much of anything else. Yeah, it doesn't promise anything. I personally, that's my one. Yeah. That's like a disappointment for me. Like, I'm not saying the movie promises her as a big star or anything. You just, when I see Katrina in something, I'd like to see a little bit more of it. But that's just a personal thing. I just think she's a great actress, and I'd like to see her in a starring role that we still haven't seen quite yet. I mean, besides
her scene though, her music scene's fantastic, and she gets to flex.
Dude, yeah, I mean,
in that scene,
super talented.
Wonderful.
How she dances in that scene.
Yeah,
insane. And then other than that, I don't really have another con so much with it. I think the movie's it's a well cut, well edited, really well put together film, man.
You said the silliness was gone though. That was obviously a con, right?
A little con for me, yes.
Yeah, I did just like the humor was taken out more.
A little bit more of Ali. I think I do agree with you, as you said your point. He is funny in it. I think I just wanted just a little bit more of him.
Yeah,
because I do like his character a lot.
They get their intro scene.
I'm fine with Jay being completely gone, and yes, I did like the intro.
The intro scene's fantastic.
That's one of
So
my favorites.
you want to talk about funny? Like what he was saying in that scene was great because he wasn't just like he was being Ali, but he wasn't overplaying it. He was within reason, and that made me laugh because he felt more believable as a person, like a character. Yeah, that's the thing about the other two movies, that he's just, you can tell he's just being funny, like he's just there for you, a jester, and he says it himself. He's like kind of like a clown.
I am a jester, yeah,
right. But like, I just think here it's just much more palatable. Like he just seems like he's in a movie. In the other movies, he's a character that needs to be there.
Absolutely.
For the function, but here he feels like a character. He feels like someone who should be there. That's what I think was great about this movie, is that the director was able to sort of really just trim off the edges and make it feel like something that where all the characters get their moments and they, I don't know, that's how I felt. And I love that beginning scene with them. I thought it was funny. I mean, there's a lot of they played to their strengths across the franchise in that one scene where they're driving off, and great callback, by the way, to movies like Bad Boys 2 and the Jackie Chan film Police Story, when they're like riding the thing off to the side of this huge vista of empty shacks.
The
fantastic
rickshaw. Yeah, that was funny.
Yeah, really good.
Here's a good question. Do you think that this movie was so different in tone and scale and scope based on when this movie was made? Like, did Bollywood action films in 2013 look more like this film versus the first two movies, which were made, almost 10 years ago?
Yeah, way down there.
Did those match those Bollywood films? So did they change it to match the Bollywood film?
I think that's inevitable. I'm sure they did.
But do you think that is it? Do you think that's what happened?
Obviously I don't know.
I would say yes. Difference?
Well, I would.
Or do you? Yeah, I mean, it could be
the natural flow of any studio film and anything. You have to sort of bring it to more modern sensibilities.
You have to modernize it. Absolutely.
But for sure, 100%. But even then, I wouldn't even. I feel like this movie plays more timeless than it does play timely. Like, I feel like I could watch this anytime and be amazed at the CGI and the story. Unlike Doom 1 and Doom 2, I look at those movies and go, okay, like those are from early 2000s. Yeah. But this movie is so well made that it has less of that for sure. It pushes much more into like timeless than it does timely. Not to say that it definitely has some timely stuff. Yeah. But absolutely, I think it's just a testament to the filmmaking in this one, where it's like, no, it just feels like a solid action flick and a drama and a drama into that sense. So I don't know, but let us know in the comments if that's like, if you guys have better sensibility of like the time of Hollywood Indian cinema, how that worked out. Let's just see. But clearly, though, I mean, there's something to be said about that, because again, this movie didn't critically or with the audience, it didn't sing as well as the other two movies. And
financially, though, it was a hit.
Financially, you said it was. This is the highest grossing movie at the time.
At the time, it was the highest grossing Hindi film ever.
That's crazy.
And it's still, according to this chart, this is Wikipedia, I guess, take it with a grain of salt, it is still in the top 10.
That's incredible. That's incredible. And you know, look, you have Amir Khan, you have Katrina Kaif, and then you have this already existing franchise everyone loves. It was bound to make easy money. So, you know, that makes sense. But clearly, people after the movie were just like, oh, that's what we got? Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
It's number 13 now.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well, still pretty good. Really good, in fact.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm flabbergasted as to the response in this film. I just, some people hate it. Some people said to skip it. I want to kill myself. This is quality filmmaking. I don't understand. I don't get it. This is where I'm like, look, I mean, I get it. Like, you didn't get what you wanted, but you got something better, in my opinion. Look, even if some of the jokes were gone, you had a great story, fantastic CGI and action sequences, a heartfelt story. I mean, I don't understand how you could pass it off. See, you know what I'm saying? I don't care if you thought it was worse than, or you didn't care for it as much as Dune 1 and 2, but like some people want you to skip it. Are you out of your flipping mind? I mean, okay, I guess you don't.
We had a lot of comments that
you don't want to.
You don't need to watch this one.
I mean, you know, let us know. I'd love to know why. I just don't understand why you'd want us to skip it. I mean, that's harsh. This is a fantastic film. It's a fantastically well-made film. It's made with heart. It's made with thought. It's made with everything. Has action sequences. I'm not. Dude, when Sahir goes to Jay and he makes the smart move of like including him as like a part of the scheme, that's fun and fantastic. What a smart antagonist. Yeah. And then you don't learn about his twin, which is like, you know, that thing's been done before, but still well done. Like,
let's jump into let's stop talking about the audience and what they like. Let's jump into things we like about the film.
Well, yeah. Well, why don't you go first? Because I've said a lot. Just praise. What was what are the stuff you like?
You took one of my favorite scenes I want to talk about when it's revealed that he's a twin. That was so good. I didn't see it coming. And then like it clicked immediately. And then what they did, which I thought was such great direction, they went back immediately to the flashback of them as children. And you see how they pulled off that trick where he goes in the box and then he's all of a sudden on the balcony. And then you're just like, shit. Yep. That was good.
And you know what's funny? If you know anything about magic, that's literally how they do it. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, that's how they've always done it.
Yeah. That's how they do it in the Prestige.
It's how they do it in the Prestige. So it's just like, I mean, that had sci-fi elements though. But like, yeah, you know, it's funny. It's just funny that like we were thinking something else. It's like, no, that they literally showed it to you in the beginning. Yeah. Yeah. You know, there's no other way they could have done it.
Let you know he's a twin from the get-go, but then they don't.
Yeah, this is not fantasy. You know, this is not. This is real. But so you should have known.
Everything about that whole scene and the lead up to that scene where he checks his back and there's no mark and you're just kind of like,
oh yeah,
how the hell did he actually do that? That's really good. And then there's that great tracking scene, right, or pan, where the camera comes all the way around and it hits,
and that's the reveal.
That square, yeah, and you see the reveal and you realize you get that final, it's that confirmation in your head that he is a twin.
Yes,
that's how they pulled it off.
Yeah,
that's how they did it. So yeah, I think all that stuff was great. That was my favorite part. Like, those moments to me were better than any of the action scenes. Like that, watching them be together and be brothers, it worked really well. Because there's also there's like a silly moment where he holds his brother's nose to wake him up.
Yeah.
Like, that's such a sibling thing to do. It's insane. Yeah. So, you know, it's great. I thought all that stuff was really great. And Amir Khan the
best, man.
The goat of just acting and just kind of making you kind of fall in love.
He's easily, again, one of the pioneers, you know, of Indian cinema. He's in it.
Right.
He's a producer. He's an actor. He does everything he can to bring joy and excitement to people, and he's doing it. I don't know what else to say. He's easily the best villain. Oh, well, you might like Rithik, but he's easily the best antagonist for me. For sure. You know, just very interesting backstory and all that.
It worked out. What are other things?
Well, I mean, we talked about it a little bit, but the action sequences are just that one where the one through Chicago with the transforming car into the water, the jet ski. Fantastic chase sequence. Probably the best one I've seen yet in any like Indian film. The CGI is great. You know, I mean, it's not Hollywood level, yeah, but they do a great job. I mean, I don't care. It's it's really, really well done. The way that the bridge goes up, and you're like, you know what he's gonna do, but like,
you
it's
don't
just great.
actually know.
You don't actually know.
Yeah.
And then that big surprise transforming right into, and you're like, that makes a lot of sense. And,
that's kind of cool.
By the way, like the fact that he's a magician, it kind of plays better into the whole fantastical parts, the parts where they ask you a little bit more of you. It kind of plays into it. It's like, well, he's a magician. Like he would have to think about these things in the beginning when in that beginning chase, and the handlebars just go in so he can surf right through like that's great. That's cool. Like that's kind of just below or above believability or below believability. Whatever.
Yeah, that was a better.
Great.
Don't freak out, audience, when I say this. But I will say this, that was a better edited and put together chase scene of Chicago than what we get in The Dark Knight. That's how good that scene is. The Dark Knight, where Batman's chasing the Joker. No, look at The Dark Knight. Watch The Dark Knight. That scene is edited together like ass. What times you're going like this, and the next you're going like this.
Whoa. Wow. Damn, I didn't know you were going to have a hot take here.
It's not a hot take. It's the truth.
That's a hot take, dude.
That's not a well-edited
that scene is not
sequence.
edited poorly.
It is not.
I
will find you multiple video essays that point that out.
We're putting that on the list.
That scene, I'm not saying it's edited bad, but I am saying there are a lot of issues in that scene that people overlook because you're so like into like the Batman, and you're into what's his name? Heath Ledger as the Joker, Ledger. Yes. Yeah. So like, but there are issues with the scene in terms of blocking, staging,
I hear you.
Editing. Okay. There are issues. It's not perfect by any means.
I'm not saying it's perfect.
Called out. It should be called out. But this scene is better composed and better staged and better put together than that scene.
Well, let's put it this way. Look, no one goes to Nolan necessarily because he's a great action director.
Exactly.
But how he films, you have to think about how he films. And so with what he has, I think he does a great job. But
sure,
again, it's hardly an action film. This is an action film.
$250 million to make that movie?
It better be amazing. Well, yeah, 200. Well, again, but this is 100%. But but it's a style. I would argue it's a stylistic choice versus like, oh, he's a bad action director necessarily.
It's a stylistic choice to put it at night so you can hide errors.
Well, hold on. A lot of people do that.
I know, but this is shot during the day. It's harder to get away with everything.
Fair enough.
And they do a better job. That's what I'm saying.
Ooh, okay. We'll save this for another one, but I don't disagree with you.
I'll debate you to the death.
Yeah, we'll save it. That's what I'm saying. We'll save it. We'll save it because that's a really interesting thing. We should put them next to each other. That'd be kind of cool. But anyways, let's keep moving. Actual
edit breakdown from two video editors.
No, I mean it's a good argument because we're basically saying they're both fantastic.
Yeah, they're both fantastic.
And if this one's better, that's fine with me. I don't even care.
I think this one is better.
It's a great scene. It's a great scene.
Anyway. But
anyways, what
everything
else?
about that scene is great. I really liked one more thing on that scene. When he hits the water, after he turns into a jet ski, that's practical. They literally hooked some poor bastard up on a jet ski and dropped him into the water. That's so cool.
It's
like
so good.
You just don't get that anymore, and I really like that. That's something that that's one of those I can really appreciate that.
100%. 100%. So I mean, again, production level in terms of action and visuals is just another level on this movie. Part of that is budget. I do think part of that is also the director. Again, I think the director did a great job of kind of making a film.
Yes.
The other two movies, arguable if you care to, if that was trying to be filmmaking and more so entertainment. But I have to give props to the director. Be like, dude, you made a movie, bro.
He made
came and made a goddamn movie that cares about this. And I gotta give it to him. Actually, so again, I don't know if you want to talk about the jokes, you can. Literally, one of my pros is the jokes land. I think it might be a subjective thing. I think the jokes in this one landed more with me.
Remind me of some of the jokes, because clearly they didn't land because I don't remember some of them.
Well, no, it's not even a plain joke. It's just the bits. I thought they were not so laugh.
Egregious.
Like, laugh. I need you to laugh at this moment.
Yeah. Okay.
Go laugh because he's silly. Here's a gesture. He's just saying it because he's like, you need to laugh in this moment.
The magic is in the subtlety.
Exactly.
Yes.
Right.
I get. I would say that
sparingly.
Yes.
Sparingly to the point where you're like, oh, that makes sense that he's making a joke in this moment.
Right.
Not because you made a poor script and you need to have a joke here.
Yeah.
That's the difference. And if you miss jokes, that's fine. You're not wrong. It's definitely less void of jokes, but I would argue these are better planned jokes. But if you're bored of the movie, then yeah, I'm sorry. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. If you don't care about the screenplay, then yeah, you're gonna feel that more than anybody else. I thought the script picked that up for me because I'd rather have a better story than jokes. So that's where it picked it up for me. I would say the jokes were
I can agree with you on that.
handled. I guess you could say.
I can definitely agree with you on that. Yeah. The jokes are more subtle and therefore they work better. They're not so much, hey. Yeah, they're not. That's the perfect way to put it. They're not with one of those guys in front of an audience saying, laugh, applause.
Yeah, that's a great way. Yeah, the sign goes off.
The
Applause
sign
here.
guy. Yeah,
applause here. You're gonna get bored if you don't.
Yeah,
applause right now. You're gonna get bored. I promise you.
The dude in front of
we didn't write anything for this moment.
In front of Alan. Yeah, that's
what I'm talking. Yeah,
see, that's a fair point, my dude.
Better planned.
That's a fair point.
So,
yeah.
Okay,
what else you got, buddy?
I mean, again, you throw anything at me, I'll just be like, it's pretty good. I mean, I had a great time. I will. Let's go over like some of the music breaks. I know you like talking about that. I had no issues with any of them here. I thought they were. Look, I wouldn't say any of the songs were like the best songs.
Yeah.
But
look, again, I said in the last review, I'm not walking around, singing Amir's tap dance song because there's no words in it. But I can appreciate the effort that went into putting that whole scene together.
Fantastically staged.
It looked really cool.
Yeah, doing that was phenomenal, and it plays to the story too, which is fantastic.
The circus scene, I know I complained about them earlier, that there's too many of them. But the first time we actually get to see the circus be performed and we see Amir come on with the, what's that thing called? The torch and fly around.
Yeah, that thing. I don't know.
Pretty freaking epic. Yeah. Pretty cool. You
thought that they went back to that scene too much? Is that what you were saying?
Yeah.
Really?
I thought so. Like when
why? You thought there was a moment where that didn't make sense to go back to?
Yeah. When the brother becomes and I was like, okay, I understand.
Don't you need to see that? Don't you need to see him take over?
I don't.
But why?
I just don't.
He just made a whole hullabaloo about why he wants to be it, and then you don't want to see it?
Yeah, and then we don't need the whole thing.
They don't play the whole thing.
It's still 4 minutes. They still pay a chunk of it.
But the point is to show that he's now with Alia.
Again, I don't need the whole thing. Okay. I know it. I'm there. You can have like a quick little.
But the scenes weren't like showing it for the sake of the scene. It's like to show that he's with Alia. I
completely agree. I don't need the whole thing.
Okay.
You can just give me 2 minutes of that or a minute, and I'm good.
They don't play the whole thing. I don't know if we're remembering it. They don't play the whole thing, bro.
They play most of the thing, dude.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I don't remember minute by minute, but okay. Fair enough.
But I just saw it this morning.
I thought it was motivated. I thought it was. I mean, I definitely think it's motivated.
I'm not saying it's not motivated. I just don't need the whole thing.
It's too much. It was too much.
I think we go back to it too much.
2 scenes, 30 seconds, maybe a minute. Okay.
Yes.
I guess I didn't
we go back to the circus with them undercover, Jay and like.
Well, see, this is where I go like, well, I'd rather have that scene than another 5-minute musical.
That's fine. I would rather have neither. I think the movie
really?
You'd rather have neither? Is what I'm saying.
Oh, I thought you liked the music breaks.
No, in this specific movie, I'd rather have neither.
Oh, I see.
I'd rather just keep it just
tighter.
Yeah, only here, yes, just like
tighter.
Let's just kind of bring it down a little bit, slow. Like again, 2.5 hours. I think this movie sits much closer to Doom 2 for me. It's a little bit. It's close to Doom 2, but it's not.
Like right there. It's not like
I think this movie almost goes level with Doom 2 if this movie was 20 minutes shorter. 2.5 hours, I think I would have been more okay with the story and everything.
Right.
Like, I think everything is good. Like, yeah, I think everything is good. It's so good, but there's just too much of it.
Interesting.
I guess, like, okay.
I had no problem with the script. I felt like it moved. Like, I don't feel like it ever stayed on one thing for too long.
I thought we
because there was
dragged.
always something new to be brought
Right.
up, and characters that like had their moment, like new dynamics. So you said that you had a problem with the Jay and Samar scenes at Six Flags. I love those scenes. I don't. Again, talk about change of pace. Talk about different setting.
Again,
talk about serving.
It's another
Jay is
10-minute
finally
scene
a hero I can get behind in those scenes. You know,
He's taking advantage of him.
he is, but he learns though that he is in the beginning. He is 100%. That's not what I'm arguing. But he learns that there's a heart to Samar. He learns that Samar is not Sahir. And so later, when you get to the scene where he gets double crossed, which was fantastic, I f***ing love that. Where Sahir Samar turns out to be Sahir.
Yeah, that scene was great.
He is legitimately trying to save Sahir because you understand that he knows that Samar, he's special.
Yeah.
And so he knows that he's a little innocent in this because he doesn't know any better. So he's trying to save him. See, that's the hero I can get behind. And that's the first time I was like, oh my God, here's Jay. Here's dick shit. Finally being, you know, the hero. And I'm like, that's great. Finally, that makes sense. He's finally that plays out. You know, Doom 2, that was the big issue. We don't get a scene like that with Hrithik. It's in this movie.
With Hrithik and
So as you can see, this movie's doing a lot of things. It's righting a lot of the wrongs that I think Doom 1 and Doom 2 are riddled with.
No issues with any of it.
Right.
Just condense them just a little bit. Like, he cut out a minute, 2 minutes. Like, the Samir and them becoming friends is like a 10-minute scene. Slow it down a little bit.
Sure.
Hey, I get the same point 8 minutes in. Again, I think I just got I didn't get tired of the other two. Even that's not a lot. I got a little tired of Doom. I was like, okay, let's end this.
You know me.
Let's end this soon, hopefully.
Right.
And I did not get tired of Doom 2 at all. I thought that was finely paced, and I was fine with the runtime. Yeah. This one, I think at about like the 2.5 hour mark, I think I paused the movie and I was like, I got 20 minutes left. I don't know.
I will say the last action sequence for me went a little too long, considering that it wasn't as grand as the middle one. Because the middle one was so good.
Also,
you know, the third one just didn't really live up to it, and I think it could have ended
Was it just
sooner.
me, or did you notice that dam? That's a dam in Switzerland, right? That's not a dam anywhere in America.
I don't know. I don't know my dams very well.
To me, I was just like, well, geography-wise, dude, there's no mountains near Chicago. So I was just like,
right.
Did they go? How the hell did they get all the way to... I was like, in my head, it's an annoying thing. It's not a critique of the movie. It's an annoying thing in my head.
Yeah.
I was just like, how the... I was like, that's Europe.
100%.
I know that's Europe.
Yeah, if you're a stickler for geography, 100%, that's like...
that geography bugs me.
Yes.
So it bugs me that they're already there.
Yeah, but I would say I'm more bugged by the fact that an editor went somewhere in Fiji versus obviously you need a dam to end it big. You know what I mean?
The editor didn't make that choice. You know, for a fact, the director told them to do it.
Whatever.
We don't get to make choices. That's why we do this.
So I wasn't bothered by that as much as but you're right. Geography-wise, you're like, what the fuck? Where did we go?
It's not a critique of the film. It's just a critique of but
I got you.
of all, I get why you wanted to set them there. It's a beautiful dam. It's a beautiful city. Wait, hold on. It might be Switzerland.
Yeah.
I think it's Switzerland. Filming. Oh yeah. Right here. Said
it's just such a stark contrast to the cityscape.
Yeah, Contra Dam in Switzerland. Because I looked at it and I was like, those mountains don't look there's no. First of all, there's really no mountains that look like that in America.
No.
I immediately thought that kind of looks like.
I thought it was the dam in Fast X originally when I was looking. I'm like, did they just reuse? Is this the dam? Is this the dam that it's all dams? It's just all dams for Hollywood.
I think it is this dam. Yes,
it's pretty epic. I would set any
it is
dam
a beautiful dam
on this dam.
You'll be close to it. You'll be close to it in a month. By the way,
okay, interesting.
It is funny though that I mentioned Tiger Shroff at the beginning of this. His dad's in this.
Is he the grandfather? He's the grandfather. Oh, is he?
Yeah, Jackie Shroff.
So that guy also was in Jailer, right? Isn't he the?
Oh my God!
Is he?
He
I don't know.
in Jailer.
Is that him? Because I thought that was him. I'm not 100% sure.
Wait, are we being racist? Hold on.
I swear I've seen him in something. I swear I've seen him in other things.
He's one of those guys that
Is
has
he
his
not the guy
own-
with the red line on his forehead? One of his things? Am I going crazy? I don't know.
Yes,
He
that's
looks
him.
very similar.
Yes,
I'll say that.
Yes, Jailer.
It is him,
2023.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
so he's one of the greats. Yeah, I recognized him. Yeah.
He has so many movies that he's
sure
been
he
in,
does.
Ed, that it is broken down based on the language. Hindi, then there's a Tamil section,
Epic motherfucker.
then a Telugu section,
This
then a
motherfucker.
Bengali section, then a
Oh,
Marathali section, then a Kannada section, then a Malayalam section, Punjabi section.
Punjabi.
Dude,
This is
it just keeps going.
Look at this guy's. Oh my god.
So is question
Wow.
for the fans: is Tiger just a result of his dad? Is he one of those nepotism? Is he a nepo baby?
He might be a nepo baby.
Nepo baby.
But he's great. He plays that grandfather role fantastic. I will say,
Yeah, he does.
a little killing yourself in front of your grandson. A little far.
Oh, that was another critique I had.
That's a
I'm
little
glad
too
you said it.
far.
I thought it was like, I was like, I understand the bank's coming after you, and yes, it's
too
all
far.
bad. I was like, but in front of your grandson?
I mean,
Like
look,
that?
I get it. Drama, I get it. But wow.
Yeah,
you
that was-
could have waited till you went to the back room, bro.
Yeah, like hung
You
yourself.
could
or
have
something.
waited.
Like, I was like, oh.
That made no sense. And what's funny was like a second before that, he goes,
Yeah.
hey, he berates him for being like, don't beg.
Yeah.
We're a family of honor. Okay, I'm going to shoot myself. Poof.
Yeah, I was like,
You probably...
yeah, that's a good critique.
It
Yeah,
didn't
yeah,
make
I
sense,
agree.
but I get
Yeah.
it. Drama. I get it.
Yeah.
But that was
All right,
funny.
cool.
Anyways.
Yeah.
So, anything else for you? Anything else?
No,
Because I don't want this to
like
turn into
I
me
said-
saying how everything's fantastic. So
The
but you
movie,
get my
I think
point.
the movie is very good. I see your points about it being a good action film. It's really well done. It's beautifully colored. It looks well, like everything. Just like
Great.
they gave him so much more budget.
Yeah.
Shot on a much better camera. You can tell there's a better depth of field and all that.
Mm-hmm.
But like, yeah, overall, it's a very good movie. I think I agree with the audience
Yeah.
that agrees with me on this one. Is I think I get lost in it, not feeling too much like a Doom film, and it not that it bugged me, but it was such a hard right turn that I got a little, I think, taken out of the movie. I think upon further rewatches, dude, I think I actually would like the movie a lot more.
Sure. Maybe
Amir
maybe
Khan's
if it
fantastic
wasn't
in
maybe
it.
if it wasn't tied to the Doom 1 or
Even
2,
that, yeah,
maybe.
even that, yeah.
Like if you just
Like,
saw it as like its own movie, if it wasn't called
Yeah.
Doom 3, it was like, I don't know, whatever.
I mean, maybe
The
they
Great
had
Indian
this idea.
Circus, like
Yeah,
whatever.
Maybe they had this idea of two twins pulling off everything, and they were like, "Well, why don't we just put it in a Doom
They
movie?"
probably had this script for another purpose. They were like,
Yeah,
let's make it a Doom movie. Maybe that's interesting. I don't know.
let's get Ali and let's get
don't
Jay
know.
and let's bring them over to America.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, I want to see if this actually was shot in Chicago.
If it's not, I'm going to lose my. Because I don't know what's more impressive: the fact that they shot in Chicago, or they made it seem damn good, like it was Chicago.
50% of the filming was shot in Chicago.
Oh, there you
in the
go.
United
Boom,
States.
baby. Yeah, because I'm sure some of the interior stuff was shot somewhere else, and the dam obviously was somewhere else. But when you're going up that when he's going up that ramp, when they're going through some of these streets, that's all Chicago, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
And they did a great job.
Yeah.
So for me, just to wrap it, I love this movie. I think it's easily right now one of the top action films I've seen in Indian cinema so far. And I think it's right beneath Pathan for me. I think it beats all the other YRF movies so far. I would rather watch this movie than those again if I had to. And I probably will watch this movie again, to be honest with you. I think it's fantastic. I had a great time with this movie.
You don't laugh.
Yeah.
One of the comments we got this last week was like, "Come on, guys, not everything can be a top 3 after you watch it."
Yeah.
Which is just funny that you said that. It would not be top 3 for me.
Okay, I didn't say top 3. I'm saying it's one of the best action films. It's not my top 3 of all Indian cinema. It's not even
It's one of your
close to the
top
top
3
3.
action films, isn't it?
Sorry?
It's one of your top 3 action films.
Indian action films.
Then it's in a top 3 somewhere.
Film world.
Then
it
it's
is
in a
the
top
second,
3
It's in
somewhere.
the second. Yes, it's in the second spot.
I'm just saying.
Well, no, I know. Well, but he's saying it's in all of India. That's not what I'm saying.
It's true. That's true. You're
I'm being
right. You're right.
specific. You're
You're right. You're being very.
I get the joke. He's not wrong necessarily, but that's not also what I'm saying. I'm saying
No,
it's
he's not wrong.
top 3 Indian Action films.
I think I
films.
would have Patan over this. I would have Jailer over this, and just action.
Well, Jailer's right beneath that for me.
I would have Jailer over this, and then I'd probably have War over this. I did really enjoy War a lot.
I just didn't like that guy. Tiger.
Regardless of Tiger or not, yeah. But yeah, I did. I would have it. It'd be
fourth.
It'd be close to the top three, but fourth, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a really good movie. I might actually have Doom 2 above it, maybe.
I would imagine you should. You said it was better.
Yeah.
Or you liked it better. You liked it more.
I would have Doom 2 above it, actually. So yeah.
Yeah. So that is Doom 2 also.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doom 1 and 2 are not my cup of tea. So they're just near somewhere at the bottom. Just go look behind.
Ed doesn't like to have fun. Just kidding.
I had fun with this movie.
You did.
No,
you did.
I just don't like abrasiveness. I can't.
Yeah, it's too much. I get it, Brent.
And I watch movies because I do see it more so as an art than just like nonsense. You know what I mean? Like that's just my personal view. I love filmmaking, and when I see great filmmaking, that trumps everything else. I'm sorry, right? Like that's just how I look at it.
It should. Yeah.
I'm looking at all the little details because that's what I love about films. If you want to make a movie that doesn't have to hit any of those boxes, I'm fine with it. I don't care. But I'm not going to put any of those movies over great filmmaking. That's my perspective. So I have no issues anybody loving Doom 1 or Doom 2. But this is like just the fact that people said don't watch it is. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. That's the only thing where I'm going like, what the don't watch it. It's one of the, it's fantastic. Anyways, so guys, that's Doom 3. We have spent close to an hour talking about Doom 3, but we hope you enjoyed. We hope you stick around for everything else coming. We got a lot of great stuff coming. And keep it with the recommendations,
keep dropping them,
guys. We're solely going off of you guys, we don't scour. We're going off you guys, so keep them coming. And
jumping into a rom-com realm soon.
I'm so ready, dude.
Yeah, just diving straight in.
To Rocky Out Rodney, man. I just want to see.
Rocky.
Let's go.
Yeah, I've been listening to What Shumka for like 2 weeks straight now.
I don't blame you. I've been listening to the Jailer soundtrack. I played it before we started today.
Yeah, Jailer. That also, I could should wake up every morning and just hear that.
I wonder if I did. What if I made that my alarm clock? Oh, my wife would hate me, but I might have to try it. It might make me feel better. You know what I'm saying?
I'm surprised you have an alarm clock.
Or like my phone. My phone. Sorry, not an alarm. Yeah, whatever. You know what I mean?
No, I'm just kidding. You get up late.
I do. All right, guys. Like and subscribe. We'll see you guys later. Love ya. Bye.